You said earlier that the whole process, the industrial engineering, is very scientific. It's
Yeah,
based on data,
yeah.
right? So, what makes a good, you know, industrial engineer compared to a bad one? In your case, how did you become a, top industrial engineer?
Basically, we have to be meticulous because it's like we really have to be focused and fine tuned to the task at hand. That's where you seek out, as I say, improvement or new ideas. Yeah,
In your case, right? In your case, talk about yourself. What did you do to become a better industrial engineer?
it's basically passion. Yeah, I will say, yeah, we want to excel.
No, not we. You. I want you to talk about you. Talk
Yeah,
about yourself.
yeah. As I say, I can speak on behalf of a good industrial engineer. You really basically have to be passionate, to
Yeah,
deliver.
yeah. I know. But talk about yourself. What did you do at the time? What did you do at the time?
Basically, I was really in the frontier of the profession because I was involved with the Institute of Industrial Engineer then. Because I was continually seeking advancement in the profession, in the sciences. You see. Yeah,
How did you do that?
no, non-stop. It's a non-stop. I think. I mean, as I say, if you are an engineer or you are any I would say productive professional. Learning is a passion non-stop. And it has never stopped with me until this day. Yeah. Yeah. You want to see the stack of books I have.
Yes.
You cannot just
Are
stop
they
it.
in the room?
Huh?
How
Yeah.
many books? What kind of books were you reading?
Manufacturing, you see, up to this day,
Yeah.
I still have one here. Optimizing factory performances. Yeah. I just received this about a week ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You cannot just stop. Stopping means throwing away. You know what I mean? So you want to at least have a few of current thinking, lah. You know what I mean? You just like staying abreast. Now that's how we stay away from dementia. Let me show you another book.
Yeah. Mike's already retired, so showing us these books is remarkable. Okay, this is what Design Thinking Playbook.
Book, yeah. How to improve basically your product, your design process. And this nowadays this is a very illustrative. It's not condensed word, So it's a joy to read, Yeah.
And you put some bookmarks there, is it?
Huh?
You had some bookmarks on the book, is it?
Oh yeah, it shows that.
Yeah, you are reading.
I mean, yeah, I'm reading, yeah, yeah, not for
do,
sure.
do you have any old books?
Huh?
Old books.
Old books. Um, Before I accumulated a lot of books over here. I could say I easily spent $2,000 a year on books. So over the years, I've accumulated a lot of books. So when we moved to the US, I sent all my books away in boxes
Mm.
to the Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
you donated to them.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, but
Wow.
now generally is all my reading are e-books. They are lighter. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, more convenient. But sometime, like recently, there's a sale from Cash Converter, and I have very good books at very good price. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually the work of an industrial engineer is not cast in stone, right? It's not like uh you learn in school or you learn in your work study and that's it. You have to continuously upgrade yourself.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. I mean, and I would say that it really. I mean, we are the lucky generation in the sense that we come through. As I say, having proper education and whatnot. So dementia, dementia is not really so much of a problem for us compared to the earlier generation. If they don't know what do they do. But see, so like now, speaking from myself, in my 70s, I don't feel at all.
Right.
Because I'm very active, during the day, never stop. I read, I, I listen to music. I play around with speaker system and almost know what is the latest in the. I mean, it's the interest that keep you alive, and as I say, I'm quite active in social media. So I honestly, really speaking, I don't feel my age, so to speak. I don't feel my age. Yeah.
That's fantastic to hear, right? So actually, reading is actually part of a healthy lifestyle.
Oh yes. When you read something new, wow, I mean, gee, you wake up and what I mean, wow, then you're pleased, you are pleased for yourself, lah. Yeah, Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is something that I want to impart on to others. Like as I say, all my kids are grown up. I don't have any grandchildren, so don't spend like some of my buddies. Their grandchildren and they get to love their grandchildren. Yeah, so it's a different way of, as you say, spending how about your later years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really second that, what you just said, like a lot of people, including men, right, when they retire from their industry, they don't know what to do. They are at a loss.
Exactly, you have to find it out yourself, lah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just want to ask you quickly, so when you read nowadays, right, the current works,
Yeah.
they are not difficult to understand. There has been some progress, but the principles are still there, right?
Yes. Yeah, fundamentally, essentially the same. Basically, they use another word, but essentially the same. But the big thing now, and I try it, is artificial intelligence.
Mm.
Artificial intelligence is hard to beat. You know why? Because from a massive storage of data, they can basically summarizes what you are thinking. So you don't have to do any hard thinking. Everything. I recently I tried a few. I was also fascinated by the result, and some of the jobs actually can be threatened. Imagine they call the AI tool called E3 EL3
Mm.
by typing out uh, words they translate the words into images, fantastic images. Well, I was even shocked at the result. This is amazing. Yeah, this is amazing. It's a quantum jump. I haven't do any serious. I think some now if I want to do any query, wow, it's only
Yeah,
just typing out one sentence only.
that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Let's go back to FNN, right? So this was Fraser and Eve refer to two Scotsmen, right, who set up the company.
yeah.
How was it working for a British multinational?
I must say I was lucky to join a company which was actually um, quite well organized, quite well established in terms in terms of process, how they organize, because the organization was actually set up, redesigned by a management consultancy. Yeah. So it's basically they have a very good structure, lah. Yeah, So everybody know their role. Yeah. So it's not haphazard. It's well organized. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay. How long were you at FNN?
5 years.
5 years.
Consider long enough. Yeah.
And then what happened?
Then after that, 5 years in the one company, it was, you basically, it's like you're still young. That's basically your almost your first real job. Yeah. Then you want better exposure. Yeah. Then you have to look for a different work environment or a different product. So I managed to join Philips, which again it was a very good company. The good thing about joining a foreign home company is empowerment. They leave you to do your job, and then of course you're answerable by the day-to-day result, the performance of your the section in which you're responsible. Yeah, so you really feel good lah. No, those Chinese old Chinese company or workshop, in the sense that you really feel like a professional. Yeah.
So not too much like micromanagement or.
Oh yeah, exactly. Everybody, their task. You just do it. Yeah. Make sure there's there's no calamities or yeah. And we responsible in design and setting up brand new factories worth millions.
So there was a lot of trust.
Yeah, this is really a good exposure. Huh?
Yeah. One of the things that has been talked about, I think Lee Kuan Yew mentioned it in his memoirs, is that Singapore, when we invited the foreign companies to come here to invest and set up factories, we didn't just want the money, right? We didn't really need the money. But what we needed was the technical know-how.
Yeah, of course. But the challenge facing Lee Kuan Yew is that he said when he was driving around, he was looking at all the school children. And he thought he has a big challenge to find employment for all these school children. The impact is real.
That was Goh Keng Swee, not Lee Kuan Yew.
Lee Kuan Yew also, I think.
Probably all of them, but Goh Keng Swee wrote about it. Yeah.
But then the British were pulling out, and the shipyard was one of the big employers. They employ like 20% of the workforce, and it dawned on him. That's why the accelerated program to develop Jurong Industrial Estate. That was to salute the early leaders.
So I want to ask you about this technical know-how, right? When you work for Philips or you work for FNN, did you learn from the management? Did you learn from the Europeans?
Primarily, I think it's the the work style. As I say, they don't watch over you. Then you may have a weekly meeting with your seniors, but very much is as long as the factory is running smoothly, and you ship out as I say the orders to all the overseas order, you're doing okay.
So when you were at Philips, Did you get a pay rise?
Yeah, as I say, we have a big bonus. As I say, when we finish a major task. Let's say when we finish setting up the what call the facility. Yeah, I mean everybody get a big jump. But in any manufacturing plant, very important, everybody is constrained by cost. So yeah, so you cannot just simply raise money because each pay rise has consequences. What about the others? You know what I mean? So it's basically moderation. Yeah, you know what I mean? If you want to go, as I say, currently you expect high pay, your job is at risk. Yeah, your job will be at risk. The moment if the company cannot afford, you will be the first to lay off. So you want the high paying job, you have to take the risk. You have to face it. I mean, you have to face it because whatever companies you are with, they have a budget. You know what I mean? The moment your expenses reach a certain level, then you're in trouble already. Yeah. So all these people who are asking for high salary, they first and foremost they have to realize, what is their operating expense.
But these
Cost.
companies were doing fairly well in Singapore, right? I mean, the thing is, compared to their own countries, the labor cost was much lower, land cost as well, but mostly the labor cost was much lower.
Yeah. That's
And
why they
came
basically
over, right?
they shift their labor intensive factories overseas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, one of the famous cases where MNC did not do well and in fact went bankrupt. So of course, the famous case of Rollei.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you never worked for Rollei, but do you have any memories of what was going on at Rollei at the time in the 1970s?
I think Rollei it did not do well. It's primarily product innovation. They lose out to the Japanese. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Other than that, I would say their their manufacturing was okay. I mean, when they changed Singaporean, their all their what it takes to assemble a camera, polish the lens. I think ultimately what they lose out was basically product innovation.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
onslaught by from the Japanese. Basically, the Japanese cornered the camera market. If you think about it, the Japanese cornered the camera market. Even there's still one more German camera company, Leica. Yeah, but they are very small. Very small. It's still around, Leica. It's very small.
Yeah, and we also had Singaporeans working in Japanese companies in Singapore as well, right? So they were also a big employer
Yeah,
in Singapore. And as you said, Rollei trained Singaporeans. So
yeah.
we actually benefited, even though Rollei went bankrupt.
Oh, I mean, imagine the number of trained Rollei employees serving all the factory and investment in Singapore. I mean, it's really something. It's really something.
Yeah. Did you
So
have
no
any?
doubt about it. I mean, as I say, foreign investment is a good thing. And we and Singapore try to maintain that 25% of the GDP should be from manufacturing. You cannot give up your competency
Yeah.
manufacturing. Yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays it seems that our manufacturing for a long time already, actually, right,
Yeah.
has not been doing well, has not been growing.
Primarily, it's because we've gone up higher value added, which is primarily all mechanized, all automatic. Then you basically have technical support personnel, doing quality assurance, and they don't employ as much. Again, the salary of each of their employees is much higher. Yeah, much higher because they are specialists in the field.
Yeah, right. You were saying that foreign investors are very important, right? Do you
Yeah,
think any of our local companies, right, could have grown, given the right support, into to become a major company? Do
yeah.
you
I
think
say
that could have happened?
Singapore should learn from companies like Taiwan and particularly
Mm,
China.
mm.
Yeah, how China can be the main uh, uh, basically workshop to the world. It's amazing what they did. You know, it's amazing what they did. Singapore, we are at a disadvantage in the sense of our small home market. Yeah, we only, as I say, population 5 million, but then we are constrained by land constraints. So with land constraints, you are again limit to the type of product that provide critical mass.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the Asian tigers, right?
Yeah,
All of them are not big countries. All of them are quite small. Of course, small. Singapore is smaller, even smaller than Hong Kong, but
yeah,
they are not big countries. But I think Singapore is the only one that relies so much on foreign investment, right?
yeah.
Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea have their own industries actually. So what is it that is stopping us from developing our homegrown?
It is it is it's difficult in the sense that uh, you 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 need the brain tank, which I think they are doing it at EDB, in the sense that when they look for an investment, they're basically looking for a life cycle of at least 20-25 years. Yeah. The moment this investment comes in, they know that, based on the capital commitment, they will not just close shop and move away. So, uh,
But
Singapore,
hold on, if you if you support a local company, they are not going to go away, you know. So why didn't we? That's a problem if you have a foreign company.
as I say, it's what called sustainability. Yeah, you your the local company must have a product which is sustainable. That that is essential for
Of course, I mean this is business,
progress.
right? It's business. So, but
Finding that niche, which is there are a lot of startup in Singapore. Singapore, no shortage of startup. The government
yeah,
actually
but you could say that it's a bit too late already, right? We had a window in which we could have supported some of our local industries, but we didn't. But the thing is, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea could do it. Why wasn't Singapore able to do it?
is
Hmm.
something I think
Yeah.
the government uh, knows it and try to correct some of our deficiency, and really study because it's changing, yeah, and really for the sake of the younger generation, it's so different. Working for company like Google, all the what called internet startup, it actually it's not good for building your skill set. You are doing a very minute task uh, in the whole what call value chain. It's so minute. Your skill is actually basically not much of a transferable, and you are so vulnerable to layoff. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure our government they have they know a big problem. On one hand, you need to provide employment. The population. Then on the other hand is, how to provide sustainable job.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I understand that. It's just that if you go too far, right, in one direction and you don't support local companies, then those local companies, and Singapore had local companies in the 70s and 80s, will eventually, decline. And what is more important, perhaps, is that you can support a startup. You just need money. You just need a few people. But what you need is the idea, is the culture of entrepreneurship, right? Once you lose that, it's very hard to get it back, right? We had that in our history, and now we don't have that because most Singaporeans are now prepared to be employees rather than proprietors, right? So that, I think, is a historical consequence of the way that we did our industrialization. But anyway, we've gone a bit far from the original discussion. So how long were you at Philips?
Another 5 years.
About 5 years, okay. And then you went to the next company.
Next company was GE, which again was I am very lucky to work for, as you say, all these multinational company, GE with a reputation, as you say, for being well managed. Well managed. You really feel alive, when you work for a company like GE, yeah.
So these were all
good enlightened management, put it that way. Very good enlightened management. Very important. I can compare with GE and some other company. Yeah, you need very enlightened management. That even the employees, they really feel good about themselves to work for a company like that. Yeah, everybody feel they want to deliver results. When you're that motivated, not just for the money, but the very fact that you want to feel good, that you work for such a good company. So likewise, it's basically it's the same thing with current generation. So you have to provide good employment opportunity for new graduates that work in similar companies. That is where you develop your skill sets. Your main skills. If you don't have that exposure, you will never get it. Like the young startup, they're failure young startup because why? They have no working experience. They can do MBA. Then after that, from big school, because of their network, they get good money to fund their startup, but they don't have the necessary working experience, how to engender a management team. Yeah. I think that I should say those are really essential skills. Yeah.
But whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That they don't have working experience. Whose fault is that? It's not their fault, right?
Partly, everybody should be a master of their own destiny. That is that is what I learned from GE. They stay with me throughout my whole life. You don't let any other people, I should say, what call develop yourself. You have to break away. If the company is not doing this for you, you do it yourself. Yeah, you are your master of your own destiny. Yeah, this is something I have to carry myself today, and I'm happy I did that. Yeah, it's the same apply. It's just too bad. Okay, thanks. I have to take another collection of books. Just arrived. Thank you.
Mike never stops reading.
So,
what books are those?
yeah, this is almost my final low. Let me just I mean, just you can stop the video, show you.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, very quick.
This will now become an unboxing video.
Yeah.
Where are the books from?
They are from cash converter because it's basically,
Oh,
I think some of them are, clearing out, you know, because now books there are not too many bookshops around. They're clearing out, and I'm a beneficiary of that. You know, this that cost me over $50. Yeah,
I
you
didn't
know,
know they sell books.
the social media to ROI, Six Sigma revolution. How G and I mean, you can revisit again. You know, it doesn't stop there. You
What do
know,
they have an online catalog?
yeah, online. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I had to go to the washroom. So it's not just professional book. So things like this, personal enlightenment. Yeah, yeah. Uh, digital wealth. Uh, yeah, digital wealth. Yeah, you know, yeah, yeah. How to age well. You know. So you see,
All kinds of
you
books
are
you are
not from
reading.
books. You don't read one book at a time. You read multiple books on the shelf. You know, it's just like, oh, now it's like watching TV. Wow, what do I fancy now? So you just pick out one. You know, that give you, as I say, you know, you must have a taste of a flavor lah. What's the flavor for today lunch? You know, yeah. That's how you maintain your interest. You know, yeah.
That's very remarkable. I admire you so much for that.
No, it's basically it's been with me. I mean, close to 50 years. I pay for myself subscription to magazine like Business Week. I was reading Business Week for many years, and Business Week basically reports on companies. You know, what were they doing and how it's very essential. That's why for me, I have cultivated that. Never stop. Never stop. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the MNCs you were working for.
Yeah.
So you said that they're all enlightened and you got a lot of great exposure while working there. So
Yeah.
there are three companies, right, so far, FNN, Philips, and GE, General Electric.
It's yeah.
So
Multinational.
that's
Yeah.
right. And it's very interesting, right? Because the first one is British, second one is Dutch, and the third
Yeah.
one is American.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exposed to the as I say, you know, the different management style.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us more about that. How were the management styles sort kind of different, right, between the British, the Dutch, and the Americans?
Yeah. Initially, John FNA, they were British based, but it was still have a bit of a colonial background to it. It was during a transitional stage. Yeah, in the sense that they were, as with the British society, they were more hierarchical, you know,
Mm.
hierarchical. And Phyllis was an eye opener. The Dutch was very open, you know. They almost talk to you like equal, you know, you are professional. Yeah, almost. That was an eye opener.
Mm.
And G is a free reign, a free reign. But you know, G is that you don't bluff. The moment you get caught, you know what I mean. You know, your baby is shown the door. That's the thing, you know. Yeah.
I mean, of course, GE is such a huge company, right, in
But
the US.
that's why I learned, as I say, you know, in G, control your own destiny. And this day, I'm happy I did that, you know, because I plan for my family, and I essentially weigh up option in terms of lifestyle, and we make those decisions. Yeah, in the sense that like me and my wife, when we went to the States, we tell ourselves, essentially my wife, she was doing very well. She's offered a position, leadership position, but I advise her not to take it because we've been that, done that. If she take that, then she'll be under stress. Then you'll be under the performance of your business unit. Then it's really then you're really chasing after money, as I say, position, but you don't have quality of life. Yeah, so we put quality of life first. Yeah, before position, because been there, done that. So you're nothing more to prove.
Yeah. I want to ask you about your perception and your view of the different employers in Singapore
Yeah,
at the time, right? In the 70s and the 80s. Okay,
yeah,
so you worked for the kind of the Western companies,
yeah.
right? Would you have considered working for the Japanese?
So far, I have no opportunity to work for the Japanese or the Koreans.
Mm.
But basically, I don't like the. I read about it and I don't like the Korean style. It's basically very authoritarian. If the boss slap you, you have
Yeah.
to be man enough to take it. If the boss abuse you in front of your other, you have to be man enough that is not my style. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay, so that's out. uh, what about the civil service?
Hmm?
The civil service. Working for the civil service in your time.
My wife did work for a while in the early years with the civil service. I mean, she was lucky in the sense that she was working in a good function, and it was like in the spotlight. And then she got good supervisor, but eventually they move on to the private sector. So she moved along with them. Yeah, the good thing about the civil service is right now is always that it is well structured. Put that in one word, well structured, and I have to credit them. I mean, again, for being result orientated, result driven. I mean, tell me one ministry that is not performing. I cannot name a ministry that's not performing.
I mean, did you ever consider, going back to the EDB at the time?
Going back, no. I mean, I mean, thereafter that, having a full working life, the now is, as I say, is living, putting life into my remaining years. That's why I do things I enjoy to do. No more purely anything I'm of interest purely on advisory rather than executive
Yeah,
capacity.
yeah. I know. I don't mean now. I mean in the past. Would you have considered going to the civil service, going to EDB in the past? Not now. Now you're
Uh,
retired.
never in my mind. Can
Okay.
do that. Because again, being in a very well structured organization, it's very difficult to move. You're basically your career is already plot.
Yeah.
From the day you join, it's already
Mm.
plot. Yeah.
I mean, in the past, I'm still talking about the past.
Yeah.
There were GLCs, right? Like PSA when it corporatized, PUB when it corporatized. Uh, would you have considered working in some of these business entities?
I almost joined
Mm.
one of one of the ST engineering
Okay.
almost. But I was not offered the job. Uh, uh, that's the only time when I almost joined a government-linked company.
Okay. Didn't happen though.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I have one last question around this angle, which is did you ever think of setting up your own business?
I've been that before, as I
Mm.
say, working with another of my colleague. We eventually do a startup, and I was involved in this venture in the US. So I know what's it like to run a company. Yeah. So I've been telling about the idea, but the thing about it, I come to a stage whereby every year going forward is a bonus.
Mm.
You know, yeah, I'm now 72. You know, so as I say, I take it that each year I round is a bonus. So I cannot think beyond that. Yeah. So to business venture, there'll be a lot of headaches. Yeah. Nothing easy about having a company. You really have to think about your expenses.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you about you had some years later on, right, in China where you're involved in some hydroelectric projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is your view of the Chinese economy?
I was then I was in the early years of China development.
Mm.
Yeah, in the sense that their their organization of their factory, the quality of their product was not known or established then. It's only when they open to foreign investment and all the foreign manufacturers like Singapore, they move into China and they basically do a transplant. There's so much so they credit to the Chinese. They take upon themselves to improve. This is truly amazing, truly amazing. Yeah. And
You
if
were,
they're
yeah.
not, they really are prepared to invest in modern machinery. Yeah, they know they have to.
Yeah. Have a final question for you, which is I came to know that you are a Quaker,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And I don't know any Singaporean who is a Quaker. So tell us about how you became one and what does being a Quaker mean?
Quakerism has been around since the 1600s. Now, the thing is, compared to other faith or Christianity branch, they don't pros, what process.
Proselytize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you have to be a seeker. You have to find them out. Yeah. So for me, as I say, while I was in the US, I was very open, and even then, my wife and I was involved in the, up to today the interfaith movement, advocating peace and understanding of people of different faith. So I find the Quaker basically the doctrine is very good. To them, faith is a personal relationship with his God. Uh, there's no in between, And to each of them, each one has an inner light. Yeah, inner light. Yeah, you're only accountable to your own God. You don't need to accountable to anybody. And then I like their values, the Quaker value. Simple living, mindful consumption. Uh, you know, and you have to be at peace with the world. Integrity work, and you find that Quaker are very reputable. They are very reputable businessmen. You have the Cadbury, the Voluntary, whereby they take care of their workers' welfare.
Mm.
They really are leading. And then in the US, they were the first one to basically advocate for social justice. They they fight for the rights of the blacks, and then they were awarded peace prize for them. Yeah. The good that is really, and with my fellow Quakers in my hometown, we really admire each of them. As I say, they really, in terms of the value, they could be, as a university professor, Harvard MBA, but they're very simple-minded people. They're very touching, to be among this group of people, and we know who we are and the value we stand for. So to this day, we really still, as I say, looking up after each other, and I'm looking after an 82-year-old widow remotely, but I chat with her every day. It shows that, hey, I still look after you. Yeah. And the other thing I should say, integrity of words and action. Yeah, that's why I'm involved in a lot of initiative of my own, and it's good when I have friends who come along and join in, because they know what I'm doing. They say, hey, I join you, and we support English teacher in Myanmar, and then we have Feed the Children program. My Feed the Poor and Elderly has been around now in its 5th year, and they have and open to friends and family to join in, and then they see, because we get video report, photo, the things that we do. It's very small, we are basically, as I say, helping one village at a time. We are not very, as I say, too ambitious. It's just we feel that, hey, at least we're doing something. Yeah.
That's very good to hear.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the the money I have and whatnot. I don't need to give my to my two sons. They're financially independent. That's the one thing you're happy. If your kids are financially independent, you're really happy. So I really have in mind, what I'm going to do with the funds I have. I really have. I must have at my age. If anything happened to me, this is what it does. Yeah, it's gonna.
Sounds like you are in a really good place, in your mind, in your heart, today.
Life, at the end of it, as I say, you think of it, where I come from, and what I've been through. I mean, I want to live a purposeful life. Purposeful life. Yeah, I must show you the testimony I got from people I help. It's heartwarming. They feel it, that the help I'm giving them, they feel it. It's a big impact on their life.
Yeah, that's right. It may just be a village, right? But a village, you have a great impact on the people living there, right?
You make it a point. Yeah. I should say, I don't simply help out and whatnot. I evaluate case by case. And when I do it and I think of it for the person I'm helping out, wow, I really feel good, and the family also feel good, that I take the effort, help out. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mike, for coming on to Chronicles of Old Singapore. Really, really enjoy your story, and thanks for being patient with my many, many questions.
No. As I say, you are the convener of the program. You have to do some editing.
We should catch up sometime together with Charles.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good time with your books. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.